Other news, President Moon Jae-in has kicked off his four-day trip to India with a visit to the world's largest Hindu temple as a show of respect for the culture and people of India. But dominating his agenda for the rest of his state visit will be the economy. Our chief Blue House correspondent Moon Connyoung, who is traveling with the president, and she files this report from New Delhi.
With a population of 1.3 billion and growing, and an economy expanding at the fastest pace in the world, India has been identified as a new frontier for South Korea for strategic and business interests. Now, with that in mind, South Korean President Moon Jae-in has kicked off his four-day state tour of the South Asian country with a visit to the largest Hindu temple in the world. Welcomed with garlands, a tikka and kalwa, or holy thread on the wrist, President Moon and First Lady Kim Jong-suk admire the architecture and appreciate the culture and religion of the Indian people. Then, South Korea's first couple performed the abhishek by offering holy water. Deeper understanding of each other's culture and strengthening people-to-people exchange. It's the first P of what South Korea has identified as the main bilateral agenda with India, the 3P+, people, prosperity, peace, and more. On the way out, the president leaves written in the visitor's book, "I pray for peace for Korea, India, and the world here at the Akshardham temple where deities reside." But it's a second P, prosperity or economic ties, that's the primary focus of Mr. Moon's first visit to India as president. The South Korean president is traveling with a huge delegation of business leaders, and dominating the agenda on day 2 will be a South Korea-India business forum, which will likely open a new avenue for bilateral partnerships, and a visit to Samsung's new smartphone factory, set to be the world's largest, for ribbon-cutting ceremony. Samsung has invested over $710 million in the project, which adds capacity to the company's Noida plant, which makes smartphones, refrigerators, and flat-panel televisions. Guiding the president around the new plant and briefing the president will be Samsung Electronics Vice Chairman Lee Jae-young, the first encounter between President Moon and the leader of the nation's biggest conglomerate. It'll also be Lee's first official event since being released from the jail earlier this year after the Seoul Appeals Court suspended his 2.5-year prison term over bribery and embezzlement charges. President Moon's first full day in India is fully dedicated to expanding the economic ties with the world's second most populous nation that's fast becoming the most dynamic consumer market. Now, the president's economic aides say this reflects the importance of India, the last great untapped opportunity for export-driven South Korea, as it seeks to cut reliance on its two biggest trade partners. Traveling with the South Korean president, Moon Connyoung, Arirang News, New Delhi.